Hi, Carmen from the Cadence Group. We are sitting down to chat a little bit with Kim Osborne-House. How's the schools?
Yeah.
Well, you can Google her anyway. She'll always come to the top because she's one of our favorites, doing a lot of our first-time home buyers and a lot of our refinances, actually, even. She stays in constant contact with clients as great follow-up. One of the big reasons we love her. But we really thought it would be informative for you to get to know Kim a little better at University Lending Group. Has a physical office that we're sitting in, but also a ton of online options for loan apps or even chats. But we're going to talk about loan programs today because I think there's a lot people don't know, or better yet, a lot of misconfusion. So, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Carmen. Thank you for having me. And I think this is a great opportunity to talk about some of those loan programs that are out there. And like you said, a lot of misconceptions. And I know with your previous segment, you talked about pre-approvals, which are a really important piece and a great starting point. But with that, not only does the pre-approval help us determine how much you can be approved for, but also helps us identify the best loan programs to fit your goals and needs. So mortgages aren't anymore a one-size-fits-all. There's so many different combinations and opportunities out there that a lot of people don't really understand. So I thought we would talk a little bit about the conventional conforming loan program first. It's amazing to me how many calls I get and they ask, do I still need 20% down? Which really for home buyers, you can do as little as 3% down on those conventional programs. There are many different terms. You can do anywhere from 5 years to 30 years. And coupled with that, there's no prepayment penalty. So if you do find you have extra money, want to make an additional principal payment along the way, you can do that or pay the loan off.
I mean, it pays off a lot of years. I mean,
It does.
Just one principal thing a year.
A huge interest savings. So really is something that buyers should know that they can do along the way. And that can be coupled with some of those down payment assistance programs as well. So, for instance, there's a Home Ready program that you can use that gives first-time home buyers a reduction in their interest rate and PMI or private mortgage insurance.
And is that a class or income associated with that?
There is a class. Okay. It's online class. You grab a bowl of popcorn, sit down, you do your class. It's informative and it's good information for buyers to know. It makes them eligible for that first-time home buyer program.
That's huge. And I've never had a buyer who's taken that not get it.
Right.
So
right.
It's not a hard class. It's not time.
Yeah, there's great information on budgeting
or money that, really helps you get the house you want.
Right.
I know one of the other things that you had brought up with us that we had never really addressed with our buyers is we tended to say, how much house can you afford? Like, what are you looking at? Oh, 200, oh, 300. And then you kind of changed our mind and said, yeah, but maybe it's more about what kind of payment can I get, like, because people aren't aware that the two don't always jive.
For sure.
So when someone says, listen, Carmen, I'm paying $1,800 or $2,000 a month in rent right now. Yeah, that may just have elevated your borrowing power.
Absolutely.
Quite a bit.
Absolutely. And that's a really important question. I'm glad you bring that up because I always ask, what's your monthly budget? Because what I might be able to qualify them for might be totally outside of their comfort level. We want to set them up for success to make sure that they're comfortable with that payment. One of the other conventional programs that is a real hit right now is the Borrow Smart program, which will provide anywhere from $1,250 up to $2,500 that you can use towards down payment and closing costs. So it's a benefit. Those are things that we look at to try to best place that those goals and needs for that buyer. So help them out.
Being a financial doctor, where you take all the symptoms in and you kind of fit the treatment for the patient.
Absolutely.
So tell us about FHA and VA, because those are big. People get scared. Sellers get scared. Oh, is that as good? Are they as qualified?
Right.
Will the appraisal be more difficult?
Right. And those programs have so evolved, as you know. Years ago, sellers really did not want to look at those type of offers because they were a little bit more difficult to get into. But for FHA, again, 3.5% down, which is a great benefit, especially for those first-time home buyers that are struggling with that down payment. Gives us a good rate, very competitive rate, good PMI or private mortgage insurance. It allows us some flexibility with debt to income ratios because sometimes those buyers are struggling a little bit with that monthly payment. So it gives us a little bit more flexibility. VA, we're helping our veterans and supporting their families in those loans. 0 down payment, which is a great option for them.
Contrary to what people think, leaves our buyers more money
Exactly.
to help offset any inspection issues or maybe appraisal stuff. So it's not a negative.
Yeah, along the way, and it's really not. And those have been streamlined over the years. So we're able to use those programs a little bit more, a little bit easier than what we used to find. So along with the VA and the 0 down program would be a rural development. We've used that in the past. The mapping areas usually include Saline, Milan, Manchester, Dexter, Chelsea, parts of Ypsilanti, Livingston County. And again, that's a 0 down payment. It's a great option for especially these first-time home buyers that want to get into some of those more rural areas.
So kind of like conventional terms, but a rural development loan. So it's strictly done by location of the property.
Right.
Looking at their address and then to see if the property qualifies.
Yep. And they offer great rates, private mortgage insurance options and ratios. I think it's just really a great program for people to take a look at. There are some income limits by county, along with some of those down payment assistance programs, but those are all things that are discovered along the pre-approval process.
And I've noticed when you've met with our clients a lot, sometimes it's best for just one person, one part of the couple to qualify or apply, because then they do qualify, whereas a dual income might push them out of the program that best suits them. So
Absolutely. And those are things that we all look at, which is so important to get a good quality pre-approval.
I love it. And I love the fact that part of what we talked about too is you following up. And I think as a lender, one of our most important things with the people that we partner with is relationship business. So with Kim, we found that our clients call us and say, oh, she called and said it might be a good time to refinance. So it's not a one and done, see you later, just like we are. Kim and University is going to be around to kind of watch your file. And right now you might be taking a 3 or 5 year option, but rates may go down in 5 to 7 years. It might be a good time to hop off the rebate train and refinance. So I love that. Thank you for taking such good care of our client. Any other loan programs? What about, I know that Eastern Michigan, don't they offer some assistance to employees or?
Yep.
I know certain work environments.
Absolutely. Eastern Michigan does. Trinity Health or St. Joe's, they also have some incentives for employees. I did want to mention construction lending. We have both construction lendings. You find the lot that you want. You can come in, do a one-time closed construction loan. You can do that up to 5% down, which is a great option with University Lending Group. Also renovation loans.
When you do a construction loan, do you need to own the property first, or can it be a package?
It can be a package, just really depending on, the price of the property and how much your construction costs are. So we can look at that. Again, renovation loans, if you want to buy and upgrade, we can do that. So there are bridge loans, there's physician loans, there's just a whole gamut of all different loans. With our bank side, we have portfolio options. So maybe you have some kind of quirky details about something that doesn't quite fit, which we would be able to put you into something like maybe like a portfolio loan to get you in that.
In-house, and it was serviced by University.
Absolutely.
I got a portfolio loan. It made me feel pretty important.
You are.
Like, oh. Well, I think it's super important that as buyers, you take time to get to know your lender, to bond with your lender, create a trust and a relationship. We feel like we provide those lenders to you. So we're going to provide a link below to Kim. If you have any questions, she's always on board to answer questions. She's the most patient, kind person that I've worked with. So we just really take female well.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.